Hey everyone, this is Collapse and Protect, and this is the Hatsan Bull Tac. I teased an upcoming review of this thing in a post about 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was going to be out a lot sooner, but tragedy struck. My microphone died and didn't record anything.
Why have you abandoned me?
But we're back on track now, so let's get to it. We're going to go over the specs and features first, then shoot the Bull Tac at varying distances to see exactly how accurate it can be, and then go over what I like about the Bull Tac and what I hate about it. All this stuff is marked by chapters, so you can jump around to whatever you want to see first.
Before we get into the video, I've got to thank two of our sponsors for keeping us safe today. The first being High Risk Training. If you're interested in premium quality gear, go check them out. They make some really high quality stuff like plate carriers, different types of placards to hold ammunition and gear. For example, this is their shotgun shell placard. They make some awesome battle belts and pretty much any kind of pouch that you could want too. And even if you're doing everything right at the range, accidents can still happen, and that's why we carry an IFAK on us.
This one's from Rhino Rescue, and it's made out of quality materials while being extremely well priced. They carry a bunch of different size blowout kits and IFAKs, and if you use code Collapse and Protect, it'll get you 15% off your order.
And stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you how to get one of these FAFO patches. It's an exclusive design that I made, and I'll give you one for free.
The specs. The Hatsan Bull Tac is a pump-action 12-gauge bullpup shotgun. Overall, it's a little over 28 inches long, and it weighs 7 pounds dry, but it feels like a lot less because of the weight distribution. It can hold 5 2 3/4 shells in the magazine tube and 1 in the chamber for a total capacity of 6 shells. It does say that it supports 3-inch shells, but this shotgun is made in Turkey, and usually those 3-inch shells will kill these guns. So we'll be testing it with the 2 3/4-inch shells and the mini 1 3/4-inch shells. It has a detachable carry handle that has a bunch of well-placed rails for accessories, an adjustable rear sight, and a red fiber optic front post. Let's test out the accuracy. Now yes, this is a shotgun, and no one's going to use this thing for hunting, but it's still nice to know that the iron sights are accurate. We're going to be using some federal law enforcement rifled slugs.
So at 7 yards, this should be pretty easy. 30 should be just as simple. And 70 yards should be pretty easy too. And here's 100 yards. I found some blackberries for sure, dude.
The stock sights seem just fine and they do their job. I do think a low profile red dot or an RMR would be awesome on this thing. Now let's see if it can cycle these mini shells.
So the Bull Tac actually holds 10 of these short shells, but we have no idea if they're actually going to eject and feed. This is something that I think all the new shotgun manufacturers should do because short shells are just a lot of fun. Let's see if these run. Nope. Uh-oh. Well, that last one was a failure to feed. Well, that's disappointing, but not unexpected. I wish shotgun manufacturers would just work this into all of their new builds since it's a thing now. I'm gonna talk to Hatsan about this and maybe mention making an adapter or something. This thing would be awesome if it could take short shells.
There's a lot to like about the Bull Tac. So the Bull Tac looks like it was heavily inspired by the KS7, but I was assured by Hatsan that it didn't share an action with its Kel-Tec lookalike. And to me, that's a good thing because right out of the box, the action was really smooth and reminded me of a Remington 870 or a Winchester 1300, both of which are known for having some of the smoothest actions in the shotgun world.
So we've put about 300 rounds through this thing now, and let me tell you what, that pump is really smooth, and so is the trigger, but the pump got drastically smoother after putting all those shells through it.
The smaller footprint of the Bull Tac is a huge advantage and makes it a lot easier to manipulate in a vehicle or indoors. Why would you need it in a vehicle? I don't know. That's up to you. But using the Bull Tac in a vehicle versus this 590 was way easier. Lastly, the price. Now I can't outright say the price on YouTube, but I can tell you that it's very affordable and you should look it up. For that undisclosed price, Hatsan packed a lot of features into this shotgun. And being that this shotgun is a brand new release to the United States market, the price may come down even further in the future. Now let's talk about the bad stuff and why you may want to wait to buy this shotgun. Not cycling mini shotgun shells isn't something that most shotguns can do right out of the box, so I'm not going to hold that against the Bull Tac. But this is really concerning. See those 2 roll pins? Before I even started my review when I was dry firing, both of those pins began to work their way out of the gun. This is a pretty big issue because those are the pins that hold the pump to the action bars. If those pins come out while you're shooting, there's nothing holding your action bar to your pump, that means there's nothing to cycle the gun with, which means no shells loaded and nothing gets fired. Now that Bull Tac is just a paperweight. And there's another issue with this. You have to remove these roll pins in order to field strip your Bull Tac. Removing these pins will cause them to be more prone to getting loose over time. That means that the longer you own the Bull Tac and the more you field strip it, this problem is going to get worse, and those pins are going to want to come out of the gun faster and faster. Something that I had to do several times during this review was grab a rock off the ground and pound these roll pins back into place. That's not something you should have to do with your firearm. There's one main criteria I use in order to score a gun on how well it does during any of these tests. Would I trust my life with this gun? This is a question that I can easily answer after putting 250 or more rounds through a firearm. If it's reliable, if it functions as it should, then yes, I can trust it with my life. It's proved itself on the range, and it's made it through its break-in period. Unfortunately, I just can't say that I trust the Bull Tac at this point, and I'm really disappointed to say that because I had a lot of fun with this thing, but its Achilles heel is and will always be those roll pins. I'm not an engineer, I'm not a firearms designer, but I can look at something like these roll pins and say they used the wrong materials here. I'll be reaching out to Hatsan again and letting them know about this problem. It's probably as easy as finding the correct hardware for these, something that's threaded that'll stay in place when it's being jostled around by recoil and the action of the pump going back and forth. I am happy to say that this is the only problem I came across. Other than that, the gun is fantastic. It's just unfortunate that its one con is potentially catastrophic. And I'm not bringing this up because I don't like Turkish firearms manufacturers or Hatsan as a brand. It's quite the opposite. I love Turkish guns. They've always worked well for me, and I started my channel by reviewing Turkish guns. But honesty is really important here, and I don't want anyone else to buy this gun and have this problem. And communication is key. If Hatsan doesn't know that this is an issue in the first place, then there's no way they'll ever address it. And being in the firearms community has always meant that we find problems and then we implement solutions. That way, everyone's experience is better. So I'll keep everyone posted on what Hatsan's response is, and hopefully it's an easy fix. Now about that free FAFO patch.
The first one in the comments to name the only shotgun that made it through the Marine Corps shotgun trials will get this patch sent out to them. It's a custom-made patch. I only had 30 of them made, and I'm never gonna make them again. And it says FAFO on it. I'm sure you can guess what that means. So throw that down in the comments and I'll send one your way.
For now, that's gonna be it for the Hatsan Bull Tac. If/when Hatsan comes back with an answer, we'll see about doing a torture test of this thing. I'd like to really push it and see just exactly how reliable it is. This has been Collapse and Protect. Have fun and be safe.